Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved a new exit benefit scheme that will grant retiring federal civil servants a gratuity equivalent to 100% of their total annual enrollment, marking a major policy shift in the country's public service retirement structure. The Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation disclosed the development in a statement issued in Abuja by its Director of Press and Public Relations, Eno Olutu. According to the statement, the gratuity scheme will take effect from January 1st, 2026 and is designed to strengthen the welfare framework for federal civil servants while providing additional financial security at retirement. In another development, the Federal Executive Council has approved the restoration of the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education as a full agency under the Federal Ministry of Education. This was disclosed by Tunji Alausa after the council meeting presided over by Bola Tinubu at the State House in Abuja. The council also endorsed a 6-year moratorium on the establishment of new tertiary institutions across the country. The Federal Executive Council has approved the implementation of GIS-enabled digital podcast system aimed at modernizing Nigeria's national addressing framework. This was designed by the Minister of Communications, Innovations and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, in a post shared on X. According to the minister, the approval was granted under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as part of efforts to deliver on the targets outlined in the ministry's strategic blueprint. The federal government says it has the capacity to identify and apprehend foreigners who overstay their visas in the country. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, disclosed this in Abuja during the 2026 Secretarial Performance Review Retreat of the Federal Ministry of Interior. Tunji-Ojo said the government now possesses comprehensive data that enables authorities to track individuals who have entered the country over the past decade and determine those who have failed to comply with their visa conditions. According to him, the development followed the establishment of an integrated operations center and a network operations center by the Nigerian Immigration Service. Moving on now, the Federal Ministry of Environment has launched a major climate education initiative aimed at strengthening environmental awareness across schools in the Federal Capital Territory. The launch was in collaboration with the Society for Planet and Prosperity. Global Television Environment correspondent Ubong Usoro tells us more.
The program seeks to equip secondary school teachers with the knowledge and tools needed to educate students on climate change and environmental sustainability. Director of Science, Technology and Mathematics at the Secondary Education Board, Abdullahi Zaki, says the goal is to make climate education practical, engaging and solution-driven.
And so in this regard, I want to say that the knowledge we are going to gain here should not only improve ourselves, but also better ourselves in the environment we live in our schools, as awareness creators for the environment and propagators for the greenhouse environment.
Of the Society for Planet and Prosperity, Chukwu Merije Okereke, says the program will cover schools across the FCT, including Wari, Gwagwalada, and Abuja Municipal Area Council. He explained that the first phase began with 40 teachers from schools within AMAC using a comprehensive climate education manual developed by the society last year.
Those forests are powerhouses for our atmosphere, for the entire earth. One of the things they do is that they produce the oxygen that we enjoy. Currently, an hour of oxygen costs over 100,000 naira if someone had to buy artificial oxygen.
Organizers say the initiative is expected to deepen climate awareness among young people and empower the next generation to take informed actions towards environmental sustainability. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News. The program seeks to equip secondary school teachers with the knowledge.
Over now to the House of Representatives has begun legislative moves to establish a legal framework that will guide the implementation of Nigeria's national decarbonization program, part of efforts to accelerate the country's transition to a low-carbon economy and strengthen its climate governance structure. The chairman of the House Committee on Mandatory National Decarbonization, Cecil Wengem, disclosed this while briefing journalists after a technical roundtable with stakeholders on the National Decarbonization Program held in Abuja. Wengem explained that although Nigeria already operates under the Climate Change Act, the proposed National Decarbonization Bill seeks to reinforce existing policies and provide a more coordinated legal framework for the country's climate transition effort. According to him, the bill has already scaled its first and second readings in the Green Chamber and is expected to proceed to the public hearing stage before the end of the month. Meanwhile, the Kano State House of Assembly has commenced impeachment proceedings against the state deputy governor Aminu Abdulsalam Gwarzo over allegation of gross misconduct, abuse of office, and breach of public trust. The notice of impeachment was formally presented during plenary by the majority leader Lawan Hussaini, who stated that the move was in line with Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. According to Lawan, the notice outlines multiple allegations connected to Abdulsalami's time as Commissioner of Local Government between 2023 and 2024, as well as action allegedly taken in his current capacity as Deputy Governor. Lawmaker representing Bayelsa West Senatorial District, Senator Saraki Dixon, has defected from the People's Democratic Party to the newly registered Nigerian Democratic Congress. Dixon announced his decision at a World Press Conference held at his residence in Abuja, where he said the opposition party that once dominated Nigeria's political landscape had deteriorated significantly. The former governor of Bayelsa State expressed sadness over what he described as the declining state of the PDP, noting that the party, which once brought hope and excitement to his people, had become gravely ill. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has discharged and acquitted suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abu Kyari of a 23-count charge of alleged non-declaration of asset filed against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Delivering judgment, Justice James Omotosho held that the Anti-Narcotics Agency failed to provide significant evidence to prove the allegations against Kyari and his two brothers, who are also accused of swearing false affidavits to conceal the origin of certain properties. The judge held that the prosecution did not tender credible documents linking Kyari to landed properties in Fountain Estate, Kansana, said to belong to Ramatu Kyari, or to properties located on Linda Choko Road in Asokoro in Maiduguri, Borno State. Attorney General of the Federation Lateef Fagbemi has assumed control of the persecution of a former Accountant General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, over alleged terrorism-related offenses and unlawful possession of firearms. The development emerged at the Federal High Court in Abuja, where the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Federation, Rotimi Oyedekpo, informed the court that the case filed had been transmitted from the Department of State Services to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. He sought an adjournment to enable the prosecution to review the case file and take an informed decision, adding that a short date would suffice. The Nigerian Police Force in Sokoto State says the physical and credential screening exercise for applicants seeking recruitment as police constables will commence on March 9th, 2026. Now, in a statement issued today by the Police Public Relations Officer, Ahmed Rufai, applicants who have successfully completed the online registration are advised to log to the official recruitment portal to confirm their status and print the necessary documents for the screening. The command said the exercise will run from March 9th to April 18th, 2026 at the command headquarters in Gwandu Road in Sokoto, starting 7 a.m. daily. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kano Strategic Command, has apprehended suspected drug smuggler one Ashiru Bala, 45, with 1,499 bottles of codeine-based cough syrup. A statement released by the command's public relations officer, Assistant Superintendent of Narcotics, Sadiq Mohammed Matakari, said the suspect was arrested at his residence in Lambu Village, Tofa local government area of Kano State. According to the statement, the drugs were intended for delivery to a local drug dealer in Kano for illicit consumption and were part of supplies stockpiled ahead of the Salah celebrations. The Independent National Electoral Commission has raised concern over what it described as unnecessary litigation and persistent internal leadership crisis within political parties. Chairman of the Commission, George Amupiton, expressed concern at a technical workshop on the revision of the Commission's regulations and guidelines for political parties. In Ikot Ekpene, Akwa Ibom State, Amupiton lamented that rather than serving as vehicles for national transformation, political parties are witnessing a disturbing patterns of leadership disputes and internal conflicts, warning that the trend is undermining its commitment to democratic consolidation. Now, in another development, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Josh Amupiton, has promised to deliver a free, fair, credible, peaceful, and inclusive election that will meet the yearnings of Nigerians in 2027. Amupiton, represented by the resident Electoral Commission of Anambra State, Queen Elizabeth, made the promise at the Electoral Integrity Summit organized by the Compact Development Initiative with support from the United Kingdom International Development in Abuja. He said the Commission was aware of Nigerian expectations, given its pivotal role, urged all hands to be on deck to ensure credible polls, as everyone who participates in the exercise is a stakeholder. Rivers State House of Assembly has officially inaugurated Napoleon Ukalikpe and Henrietta Danibari Lolo as members of the House. The inauguration took place in Port Harcourt at the Assembly Chambers. Ukalikpe, representing Ahoda East State Constituency 2, and Lolo, representing Kana State Constituency 2, were elected in the February 21, 2026 by-elections. The by-elections were conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to fill vacancies in the State Assembly and restore full legislative representation for the affected constituencies. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and you're welcome to NIMET
Back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has proposed the establishment of a grid asset management company to address persistent challenges in Nigeria's electricity transmission network. The development was disclosed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. According to Idris, the President presented the proposal directly in a memorandum to the Council for deliberation, highlighting the need to straighten the transmission segment, widely regarded as the weakest link in the power sector. Now to the Vice President. Kashim Shettima says the federal government's ongoing tax reforms are designed to improve the lives of Nigerians and reduce the burden on small businesses and low-income earners, rather than impoverish them. Shettima made the remarks in Abuja while speaking on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the interfaith breaking of fast held at the State House to mark the observance of Ramadan and Lent. The Vice President said the tax reforms are aimed at eliminating multiple levies and charges that have long burdened small businesses and ordinary Nigerians. He said the policies were carefully designed to improve livelihoods and reduce poverty, contrary to claims by critics of the administration. The federal government has intensified efforts to reposition Nigeria as a continental industrial hub. The Minister of Steel Development, Shaibu Audu, declared in Germany that the country is ready to move beyond raw material exports and is seeking credible long-term investors to unlock its $10 billion annual steel market. Speaking at the Nigerian-German Economic Forum in Dortmund, the minister outlined that he described as a strategic shift from extractive export to value addition. He stressed that Nigerians' vast mineral reserves and growing domestic demand present a generational investment opportunity. Nigeria's Senate has launched a probe into the collapse of crypto bullion exchange CBEX. As the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission reveals, it has traced over $46 million in cryptocurrency transactions linked to the scheme. The disclosure came during a public hearing on proposed amendments to banking laws aimed at tightening regulations and curbing the rise of Ponzi operations across the country. National Assembly correspondent Anete Patrick reports.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has confirmed it is prosecuting Nigerian promoters of the failed crypto bullion exchange, CBEX, over their alleged involvement in a multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme. Speaking at a public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, EFCC's representative Dane White disclosed that forensic investigations uncovered significant cryptocurrency transactions linked to the scheme. According to him, detailed blockchain analysis traced more than $46 million in stablecoin USDT to digital wallets identified as collection points operated by the promoters.
Now, when we looked at what happened to the flow of funds, we found out that these monies will come into the wallet and it kept on bouncing off different wallets on the blockchain.
The hearing was convened as part of deliberations on a bill seeking to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act. This followed a motion calling for a comprehensive investigation into the operations of Ponzi schemes in Nigeria with particular reference to the CBEX incident. Chairman of the committee, Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, said the amendment is aimed at strengthening regulatory oversight and preventing future financial fraud.
We are addressing two issues of national significance. One, the consideration of the bill for an act to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020, SB 959, and the motion mandating an investigative hearing into the operations of Ponzi schemes in Nigeria with particular reference to the recent crypto bullion exchange, CBEX.
Declaring the hearing open on behalf of the President of the Senate, Senate Leader Senator Opeyemi Bamidele stressed that broad stakeholder engagement remains critical to restoring public confidence in Nigeria's financial system.
The Senate will carefully consider all submissions and recommendations presented here today.
As investigations continue and prosecutions advance, lawmakers say the proposed amendments to banking regulations are expected to close existing loopholes and shield Nigerians from emerging digital financial scams. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global.
And on the foreign news now, Somalia has approved a new constitution allowing lawmakers to be directly elected by the public for the first time, ending years of selection by clan elders in parliament. Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre called it an historic victory. Though opposition parties boycotted the vote, President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, who was championed the reforms, plans elections in June, but amendments extending its mandate by a year may delay the vote. Security threats from Al-Shabaab, weak infrastructure and regional opposition, including from Jubaland, Puntland and breakaway Somaliland, pose significant challenges to holding nationwide elections. European Union leaders have expressed support for Arab countries in Gulf as Iran continues to launch missiles and drone strikes on targets across the region in response to attack by the United States and Israel. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas and other European leaders held talks with Gulf Cooperation Council officials in Brussels, denouncing what they described as Iran's inexcusably attack against the GCC countries. The Senate also reaffirmed that Gulf countries have the right to take all necessary measures to defend their security and stability and protect their territories, citizens, and residents. The meeting came amid mounting concerns of a widening fallout of U.S.-Israel attack on Iran, which have killed at least 1,230 people since Saturday. United States President Donald Trump has rated that the U.S. performance in the war with Iran as a 15 on a scale of 10. Trump, who has vowed to push on with aggression, made the comment as the conflict expanded in its fifth day, with a U.S. submarine sinking an Iranian warship off the coast of Sri Lanka and fresh blasts across the Middle East. Zara Nasser tells us more.
Trump also stated that Tehran's arsenal of ballistic missiles was being wiped out rapidly. He refuted his justifications for attacking Iran, saying Tehran was on its way to obtaining a nuclear weapon. The U.S. leader pledged that he will move forward with the joint air campaign with Israel that has already slain Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei on its opening day on Saturday.
We've had a nuclear weapon. If we didn't do the B-2 attack a number of months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon. And when crazy people have nuclear weapons, bad things happen. So we're in very good shape now. I want to let you know that, and we will continue forward. But it's a great display of military strength, and I'm very proud to.
Trump's administration has faced criticism after days of mixed messages about the rationale for the war, given the Republicans' previous campaign boast about starting no new wars. Zahra Nasser, reporting for Global TV. Trump.
In sports next now, Bayelsa State government has announced the maiden edition of Yenagoa City International 10-kilometer race scheduled for April 4th, 2026. The race aims to position Bayelsa as a major hub for global sports tourism. The event is designed to showcase the culture, resilience, and talent of Niger Delta to the international community. A total of 128 boxers, including 4 diaspora athletes, are competing at the Bra Ayonet Boxing Complex in Surulere at Nigerian holds open trials to select 10 representatives for the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. The team's size was expanded following the intervention of the National Sports Commission Director General Bukola Olupade. NBF Secretary General Vivian Azime confirmed the trials featuring 101 men and 27 women have progressed through parliamentaries and quarterfinals, with semifinals set for Thursday and championship bouts scheduled for Friday, March 6. Over now to the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has officially moved the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations WAFCON to a new summer slot, with the tournament now scheduled to run from July 25th to August 16th, 2026. In an official statement, the Federation announced a change from the original date of March 17th to April 3rd, 2026, stating that the decision was made after consultations with key partners, including FIFA, to ensure the tournament's success in the light of unforeseen circumstances. And the statement confirmed Morocco remains the host nation for the competition, which was awarded to the country in October 2024. That's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.